If you are someone who's really torn in between starting a YouTube channel and all you have is a phone, especially if you have the iPhone 13, but you can just start. I mean, it's gonna look like this. One of the reasons why digital cameras have been the better option when it comes to content creation and recording videos like YouTube is because they have way more manual controls than phone cameras. The iPhone 13 kind of changes that. I mean, when they announced it and they announced the cinematic mode and what it could do, I actually didn't think about it initially. But before I recorded this video, I was like, wait a minute, this is actually good for YouTubers. The cinematic mode, if you don't know, is an iPhone video portrait mode. Pretty much allows you to control the aperture and control the depth of field whilst you're recording or even after you've recorded. This is good for content creators. I mean, if all you do is create content, record YouTube videos, and you don't really need to break your bank, then just get an iPhone. I mean, iPhone is expensive at the end of the day, but still you get a phone and a camera. But I did an in-depth on the iPhone 13. You can check it out on the link that's here. I'm gonna leave you with 3 tips to remember if you are someone who's gonna use their phone to YouTube or to create content or to vlog or anything like that. Try to use the back camera as much as possible. I understand you wanna see yourself, but first of all, the front cameras are usually less superior than back cameras. And secondly, when you're using the front camera, you're usually tempted to look at yourself on the monitor and not into the camera lens itself. That most of the time is evident when we are now watching the video on YouTube. I'm sure right now you can tell that I'm not looking at you, and that can be distracting for people because I am talking to you, but I'm not looking at you. And then the second tip is invest in lighting. Even when I started my YouTube channel, I needed to buy a really good camera that's gonna be good for YouTube and all of that. 90% of the time, you can up your video game by just investing in lighting. I have a key light and I'm using a Godox SL60. It's not necessarily an expensive light, but it's also not that cheap for people, especially if you're starting out and all you just want to do record YouTube videos. Depending on where you are in the world, there are a lot of cheaper options that you can find as long as you can get something that you can use as a key light. Just to show you the difference, this is without the key light. It can work, but this is better. The last tip that I want to leave you with is invest in audio. That's another thing that a lot of people overlook, especially if they're starting out on YouTube. You just want to get that fancy camera, expensive camera, but that camera needs all these other things to work really well. In this video, I'm using a Zoom H1 audio recorder connected to a lavalier mic, as long as you're just using something that's gonna make your audio way better. This video is mainly to see what it looks like shooting a YouTube video using cinematic mode on the iPhone 13 Pro. My name is Z, and until next time.